YouTube, this is Bernadette Miss B, and I am back. I am back to do another video, and let's just jump right in. The name of this video is We Broke Up, Now What? Here on my channel, and my channel is Free Spirit 30338, I like to choose little topics and questions that I see post online. I like to come to my channel and kind of go over those questions and come up with what are possible solutions, possible answers to those questions. One of the questions that I see post online a lot is, what should I do after a breakup? So I'm titling this video, We Broke Up, Now What? This video it's going to talk about what you should get busy doing after the breakup of a relationship. So let's talk about it. So you break up with your boyfriend or girlfriend, but for the sake of this video, I'm mainly talking to the young ladies because my channel is pretty much committed to the empowerment of women. So I'm going to talk to the ladies. You break up with your boyfriend and it's at the end of the relationship. Things have just went aground. Most of the time we see it coming. Whether or not we face it or not, that's a whole different subject. And in fact, that'll probably be a later video. But sometimes we see the signs, we see the symptoms, and we know that something is about to happen. So we're at the end of the relationship. We've severed ties with the person. And I'm noticing like a little trend. And that trend is that for a lot of people, it really becomes harder and harder to let go. The trend is, it's almost like people are just refusing to let that previous relationship go. So when relationships don't work out and you are no longer with that person, that is the best time to then start reevaluating. You want to start reevaluating yourself. You want to start reevaluating. You may even want to look back and try to make sense of what happened. So with that being said, we need to kind of figure out, why is it so hard for people to let the relationship go? One of the reasons why I think that a lot of people have such a hard time letting a relationship go that wasn't working is that for some reason we start to romanticize. We start to romanticize about how great it was. Oh my God, he was just such a wonderful guy. He treated me so well. We had such a good time together. We could talk, we could laugh. It was just so much fun. I love him. I miss him. Ladies, I want to put forth an idea, and some people are going to jump on board to the idea, and hopefully many people will see the value in this idea. And many people may decide, you know what, that's not going to be for me. There are many tools that you can use to help empower you after a breakup. But one of the biggest things that I would like to speak to you about and address is the romanticization. I don't even know if that's a word, but let's just go with it for a minute. The romanticization of how the relationship was, when in all actuality, we are in our heads and we are creating a big untruth about our relationship. So let's just look at that for a minute. So as I've said, we think about how wonderful it was, so on and so forth. Ladies, I want to present this little idea to you. If we start to actually look at how that relationship was, I really think that we could switch a lot of the dynamics, and I think that we could switch the narrative that we're creating about how wonderful this relationship was. What do I mean? Okay, glad you asked. One of the tools I would like to suggest to you is if you look back and reflect on that relationship and deal with it from the perspective of dealing with truth. Charlie, out of 2 years, that's the imaginary boyfriend that we're going to have in this scenario, Charlie. But anywho, Charlie was a good guy. We don't want to trash Charlie too much, but Charlie was a good guy. But out of the 2 years that me and Charlie dated, Charlie never took me out on a date. And Charlie did not respect me. He did not respect my voice. He did not respect my thoughts. And half the time, I found myself having to call Charlie and literally chase Charlie because Charlie would ghost me. When we start looking at the truths of the relationships, I think that that will help us not to get into this romantic space inside of our heads. Now, I know a lot of people, like I said, they may not agree with this. They may not think that this is a good thing. But we don't end this tool at that point. We're gonna refine this. So when we start thinking about the truth, embrace the truth of how the relationship actually was, and when we deal with everything from the perspective of how Charlie really treated us, we can then tack on the statement, but the next guy that I meet, he is going to treat me so nice. But the next guy that I meet, he is going to call me often because he wants to talk to me and see how I'm doing. But the next guy, he's going to take me out on nice dates. He's going to be so interesting. That is the time that you can plug in and change the narrative and make the experience into a positive. And in my opinion, I think that if we did that and started to learn from these meeting incidents, that we can create a positive experience and make it into something positive instead of over obsessing and hyper focusing on this relationship that actually never happened the way that we have created it to have happened in our mind and in our thoughts. That is one of the biggest issues that I see, is that we don't want to deal with the facts and the truth as they are, make it into a positive situation, and then we can reevaluate the entire situation. We can reassess, we can refocus. And when we see that this can be a great learning experience, we've got all these tools, then we can start to say, you know what? At this time, since this particular relationship did not work out with Charlie, you know what? I think that, I always wanted to take a salsa class. You know what? I wanted to learn how to make YouTube videos and edit. You know, there is some gifts and purpose that God has placed within me. I want to learn more of what my purpose is for being here on earth. What can I do to contribute to other people's lives? What can I do to make things better for someone else? How can I serve others? That is the time, ladies, at the ending of a relationship, especially, because now you've got some great time. You've got a huge block of time, free time now, because you're not dedicated to this relationship with Charlie that wasn't working, if we're honest with ourselves. The relationship wasn't working. We stayed in it 2 years, which was 1 year and 9 months too long, in my opinion. So now that we've decided to get empowered and to change our perspectives, I just want to put forth the idea that at the end of the relationship, that should be the time that we are getting excited for a new book, not just a new chapter. Because a lot of people, of course, they put forth that idea, let's start a new chapter. No, let's start a new book. Let's completely move out of that old book of life. And you know what? We're going to go and we're going to start this new positive, empowering book that's going to give us new tools to be able to deal with the fact that a particular relationship did not work. Okay, so we're dealing with reality and we're dealing with the facts of the relationship. And we're going to start envisioning and journaling on what we want to create in our lives, the type of life that we want to create. This was one of the biggest and greatest things that I personally found helpful because it enabled me to get out of my head thinking about those old habits, those old relationships that did not work, those old friendships that you had to cut ties from. And it helped me to focus on something new and fresh. So that is what I want to present to you today. That if you find yourself at this moment at the end of a relationship, or you are fearing that this particular person is about to end your relationship, do not go into a fearful mode or a fearful place or go into your head about the situation. I just want to present to you with the idea that, you know what, this is the time to get excited. This is something else that I also want to mention. I feel like a lot of ideas have been put into society, and especially in Black culture, in which women are programmed and taught, oh my God, the sky is falling, fear, fear, anxiety, anxiety, the sky is falling, there are no more men left. I've also mentioned this mindset in a different video. But that mindset, as I have learned, it stems from being programmed from a place of lack, where you think everything is running out, everything is in short supply, there's not much left, nothing may be left for me. That is dealing with life from a perspective of being in lack. So we need to deal with coming from a perspective of abundance. What do I mean by that? What I mean is we need to start thinking in terms of, you know what? There are a lot of great guys out here. There are a lot of great men out here that are respecting women and loving women and that want a good woman that is going to be faithful and that's going to honor him and that's going to be in a feminine space. And we'll talk about our femininity and our feminine energy and masculine energy in another video. In fact, that's going to take multiple videos. But we need to switch our perspective and start thinking from a place of abundance. There is more than enough men. There is more than enough money. There is more than enough everything for everyone that wants to partake in a healthy relationship, having enough resources to be able to get some of the nice things done in life that we want to do and enjoy and go places that we've never explored. There's more than enough. So we have to start thinking from a place of abundance and not that everything is running out. And I think that that is a huge issue as to why people cannot let these toxic waste dump of a relationship go. Now, as you know, or will learn or continue to learn about my channel. I believe in passing positive information, positive messages, and sometimes some of that may come off a little harsh. But I like to deal from reality. And in dealing from reality, a lot of these mindsets have to be changed and a lot of these issues have to be addressed. So hopefully I presented you with almost a case for why it's okay. The relationship is over. It's okay to let it go. Let's learn from it. Let's get excited for something new. And that is the idea that I want to put forth to you. So with that being said, I think I've held enough of your time. Hopefully I've held your attention. Hopefully I've shared something with you that will be of great interest. So this is Bernadette Miss B. My channel is Free Spirit 30338. Hopefully you will share this video, especially if you are a young lady that is facing this or a friend of yours is facing this. Hopefully this can get a good conversation started where you can start to explore how to look at things from a different perspective. Until the next video, take care. Bye-bye.